Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to another recording session of Hearthstone. So it is Christmas Eve right now as I'm recording. I need 7 victories for 100. I need to play as 30 Murlocs, play as 15 Demons. I gotta watch and learn. That bumped the schedule to Christmas Eve instead of the day before. Because of that, there's really not a ton of stuff going on. In fact, if I wasn't so far behind on other things, I was thinking maybe next year to not even record for the week of Christmas. Take it off as a vacation. Let's see. This is to create cards that cost more going the way they go. So I'm gonna just type in demons and see if this works. Not that demons are particularly expensive cards anyways. Let's see. This one and this one, this one, and let's see. So we're really gonna try to fill up our collection here with 30 cards of actual demons, and I'm not really doing a great job of verifying that I'm actually putting demons in my deck instead of cards that just have demon in the name. So let's come down here and get rid of those. And that was a demon, darn it. Should be playing the highest demons available. Demon, 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 demon. Let's see, demon. That's not a demon. That's a demon. I'm not playing very well to begin with. So there's not a lot to talk about. I've been playing Honey Pot. Glad to be done with that. That series really went too long. There's certain other... There's a lot of censorship that I have to put into it, so it was adding extra work. It's out of order in which I'm recording because after playing Honey Pot, then I started playing Pretty Girls Mahjong Solitaire, which is an awful Mahjong Solitaire game, if I'm just going to be honest. And that, I guess, is good enough to start here. Let's play. And that went on for way too long. I was thinking it would go 4, maybe 5 episodes. Instead, it itself may have gone 15, 20 episodes. So all of January may get filled up, or half of January may get filled up with that. And since it was such a bad, just a bad game, I really want to go and play a different Mahjong Solitaire game called Kodia Mahjong that's like 10 years old and showed in comparison because it's way better. And so now I'm going to end up doing another spotlight, and all of this really just eventually gets back to the point of I really want to move on to Pretty Girls Mahjong for real, to get back to the idea of Chinese New Year. It's not a great season for covering things, really. You have Thanksgiving, where there's a lot of sales starting, maybe not that many actual Thanksgiving games are out there, but but that certainly is the start of it. Then there's all of December where you have December sales, and all of the after Thanksgiving is when a ton of new video games come out, and so that's an issue too. And then sales on Christmas and end of the year stuff. One of the websites is doing a game of the year with a different category per day, which seems kind of crazy the way they're set up to gameplay that way. I've got my list of the winter sale first pass here, and it's at $990, around there. Maybe it was $930. Kind of doesn't matter. $80 difference doesn't change anything when you're talking nearly $1,000 in games, but I've already gone through the first pass and looked at things and recognized a number of games I can throw out of contention. There is a slight issue of constantly getting the same games in the cart and out of the cart. It seems pretty obvious when I'm looking here. I'm pretty much covering 2-year-old games. The new games I'm covering in retrospectives are 2-year-old games, and it's getting even. It's not getting any better there. The idea of season passes and timed releases really hides the fact that for 6 months to a year, the price does not go down one bit on AAA games now. They say, sure, you can get the regular version for $20 in 6 months, but then when you buy the season pass for it, you're adding right back to it the $40, and you're paying $60 anyways. For a 6-month-old game. A year-old game is still not really any better. Let's see. I need to play more demons, and since this deck is already built full of demons, I'll just play it again. So things like Tomb Raider still don't have. Doom still don't have. Looking at them on the list of games, it's not items that I can even really consider, because you compare that to small independent games or really old games, and you're talking $30, $40, $60 possibly still to buy things. So let's just go through this. I could get Grow Up, the sequel to Grow Home. It's $4.50 if I complete my bundle, which this is a trick now that they are certainly doing in Steam, is that if you complete the bundle, that it saves you a little bit more. So buying the same game individually costs more than buying a bundle that actually only has one thing in there. And that is actually going to prove to be helpful in the long run, because it means I can buy little pieces of bundles. For instance, Saints Row collection with Saints Row 1, 2, 3, 4, all of that. I could buy parts of that as I can sneak it into the budget, and then finish the bundle and get more savings. So I only had 12 pages that I ended up printing. I will enjoy watching you die. A lot of it's just cheap things like Ether 1. I don't even know what that game is. Grow Up. Ether 1 I threw out, so I probably just gonna save time and only mention things I threw out out of the first collection if I even recognize the games, because a lot of them I don't even recognize them. Like I threw out Tesla Garage, don't know what that game is. I kept in Cat Lateral Damage for $5. That's probably going to get eliminated in the second filtering. Shanti and the Pirate's Curse. I would like to get Shanti and the Pirate's Curse and the Shanti series to start making some progress there. That's a series of games, at least a couple of them I'd like to play. It's the closest thing we're probably going to get to something close to Super Mario Brothers type game. Californium is a niche game I'd like to play. Oxenfree is $5. Californium's $5. These are both games that came out 6 months to a year ago, and they're $5, so they're not too bad. One of the things I'm thinking about is the Amazing Spider-Man bundle, because there's going to be a Spider-Man movie that comes out, and it has the tiny chance of actually being good, but that's $22.40 to get the Amazing Spider-Man and a bunch of DLC and possibly some older Spider-Man games. And let's be honest, I'm gonna have to go back and see if that includes something like Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, and none of the Spider-Man games have ever been amazingly good. They've all kind of sucked. Fable Anniversaries is $8.74, so playing that, it would be nice. There's never going to be another Fable game, so there's not a huge reason to do that. But it would be nice to get that done. Downfall is $6.99. That's kind of the sequel to Cat Lady, and I wanted that for my Halloween thing, so that's probably in. Toonstruck is a new release of a very old game that I want to kind of lock it in, but it's $7 and it's almost certainly going to go on sale better. Wolfenstein the Old Blood, because I have Wolfenstein the New Order. The Evil Within bundle is $8.24. Getting that is another scary game that maybe I could try and play during Halloween, but in all honesty, I have more than enough horror games for Halloween next year. This is kind of the best sale that's going to happen until Halloween. So you really are 10 months in advance shopping. Scribblenauts Unmasked, Scribblenauts Unlimited, both $5 each, probably almost certainly going to get tossed out in the second filter. Testament of Sherlock Holmes, I think that's one of the good Sherlock Holmes games. I cannot believe I'm short on demons to play. Undertale, everybody loves it, it's $5. Oddworld, new and tasty. There's going to be a new Oddworld that comes out, and I wanted to try and work around that, but I don't even know when the release is. Angry Birds is surprisingly missing from Steam, and that just seems really odd. But yeah, the only game on Steam called Angry Birds is Angry Birds Space, and everything else is missing. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, $5. Really old game for $5. You can see there's a trend here happening with this, where AAA games by the AAA producers never get below $5. And this is certainly the price I would have bought these games when I was going into a GameStop and blowing paychecks and just being intoxicated by having the small amount of money I would have then. But now when you start comparing it, when you have a list and you see $900 worth of games, you're saying, well, wait a minute, this game that came out 2 years ago is $5. This game that came out 10 years ago is $5. Isn't there supposed to be a little bit more of a discount here? And it just doesn't. It doesn't seem like it ever works that way. And the whole
pleasant feast of winter.
The whole sales on Steam are getting less and less good. They're getting worse and worse as far as how much is off or how much that really means, because there's this whole system going on, that kind of stuff, where they can manipulate the price. It's time to switch this guy.
Job's done.
Like, it seems like they raise and manipulate the prices, and then they'll say this is 90% off, but at the end of the day, you're not really getting 90% off.
Tonight,
and they do that in stores every now and then too, where they'll write things as twice their value for 1 week, and then spend the rest of the year saying 50% off that. Crisis Collection is $11.24. If Crisis is going out of business, which it seems like it very well might be, it makes a lot of sense to get Crisis before it disappears, because that is a game series I would like, and it's not very much that expensive. On that note, one of the very few things I had to talk about is the fact that Crytek is failing, in my own opinion, and because of that, Star Citizen has been working for a year to transfer from the CryEngine to the Amazon Lumberyard engine, which I've never even heard of, or maybe I've talked about it, but I still don't know what it really does. So one of the few games that I'm aware of when I listen to a list of games that use the CryEngine these days has just moved away from that. I wanted to get Tormentum for winter holiday. There's a Game of Thrones game bundle that I would would like to get also. Game of Thrones is so popular, people are gonna type in Game of Thrones into it. In this highly charged political atmosphere, I was thinking of getting Paper Please. I think that's probably a bad idea in general, and it's $4 for that game, which really should only cost $2 at most. Let's come over here and play with our Murloc deck now. I have no reason to even want to go up in rank right now. In similar ways, I want to get Angry Video Games Nerds game. It's on sale for $4, way too expensive, but people type in the word Angry Video Game Nerd on YouTube. If it brings up my video every now and then, that wouldn't be terrible. And it wouldn't be false advertising if I'm playing his game and criticizing it. Goosebumps, same idea. Trying to go for word recognition. The Cave, there was a movie called The Cave, but I doubt very many people would bother to try to find that on YouTube. But whatever. I just wanted to play The Cave because it's a good
Happy
game.
Feast of Wintervale, champion. Happy Feast of Wintervale, champion.
Job's done.
So,
By the holy
Machanium Shank is a game I'd like to play. It's $2.50. That's about the right price, but it's still probably a little bit expensive when all is said and done. So I need to play 15 Murlocs, I believe, so I don't want to just lose here very quickly. There's a Castle game based on the TV series Castle, which I don't think very many people watch that series, and it's been finished, but that was something I was considering.
Get down!
Do that. Same idea. Fahrenheit Indigo Prophecy, $2.50. I want to get around to that eventually, but that's probably going to get knocked out of this. Some of the games I want to play are just never going to get on the schedule. Is part of the problem. I want to play them, but there's just no way it's going to happen anytime this year. I'm so far behind, and my channel is probably almost certainly changing at the beginning of the year. We're going to go for longer series, so it's not just going to speed up into monthly sections. We're going to try to get further ahead. Let's see. What do I want to do? Well, I'm going to win anyway, so let's just do this. And let's just end the turn. See if he can do anything. Backgammon Blitz, I want to get that, but it's $2.40 for a backgammon game. That's a little bit expensive for that. The Witcher Adventure game, which I don't know if that specifically is the Witcher 1 or if that's a completely spin-off game. Learn Japanese to Survive was something I was thinking about doing a series specifically centered around Japanese work, and I figured that would have been a good one. Again, that's $2.09. It just kind of knocks everything up and up. The Daedalic Halloween bundle would get me some more Daedalic games, which okay, maybe not. That probably gets done. Finding Teddy looks like a kid's game, but it's not. It's more of a horror game, so still a lot of struggle trying to find kids' games. Like the Adult Swim combo of games. Probably want to cover all of those at the same time, but that's way too expensive. War for the Overworld is 50% off, but it's still way too expensive. Let's see. As long as I'm winning, I'm gonna just keep on playing. Rocket League is too expensive considering I'd have to play with other players. Infinifactory is too new, so too expensive. Danganronpa 1 and 2 is too expensive. Assassin's Creed 3 and 4 are both kind of expensive, but
Put your faith
I kind of also need to move forward on those. I guess, I suppose, for next year I do have 2 games I can play because I have Brotherhood and Revelations, and so I could probably put those on. Firewatch is $12, which is too expensive for what that probably is. Just expensive in my own personal mind as I look here and try to figure out what I think every game is actually worth. Ori and the Blind Forest is $10. Probably, it would probably be fine to get that, but again, when am I gonna get around to playing any of these games? I have like no schedule whatsoever laid out for 2017. It's just a mad rush to make footage and think about what's supposed to come out in the next month, and not even bother with trying to figure out the month after that. Plus, it's also fluid. The Lego game is $12.50 for Lego Marvel Avengers. I'll probably get that. Layers of Fear bundles too expensive. Rise of the Tomb Raider is $30 for the 20th year celebration. Or I could get the Tomb Raider collection for $7.30 and fill in that collection. Both of those are pretty expensive. If I get the Star Wars collection for $22, I'll get a bunch of other Star Wars games. And did I play enough Murlocs here? No, not even close. I'll get the Lego Star Wars Force Awakens and several X-Wing games that I'm almost certainly never going to get around to playing those, but you know, it's going to come up every year. It's going to come up on May the 4th. Star Wars games are on sale, and it's going to come up on Christmas and probably Thanksgiving sales, fall sales. The Black Parrots Suspenders bundle is $1.50. Circuits is $1.80. Magnetic Case Closed is $2. Arkham Asylum is $5. Is Arkham Asylum really worth $5? I would say probably. But do I really want to go back and play the first one? See, I don't know what we do there if we're ever going to be able to catch up and say, if there was an Arkham game after Arkham Knight's debacle, if they're ever going to try to do that, or if there's going to be a Batman movie or anything that surrounds on that. I could get There's Poop in Your Soup for $50. That's 50 cents. That's an example of one of those games where it would be a very short run coverage would be kind of fun, and it's definitely just YouTube bait that they're even making a game by that name. But 50 cents, if my channel was a little bit bigger, doing a game like that would probably get me more than 50 cents of ad revenue in a week or a month, and so pure profit there. And that, I wish my channel was big enough so we could say that every time, so I could, and that it was so high a ratio that I could cover a $60 game and ensure I'd get $60 of coverage there. Ad revenue. The Black Mirror bundle. There's a TV series on Netflix called Black Mirror. There's a game called Black Mirror. If I cover the Black Mirror game, people might be looking for the TV series on YouTube that's a Netflix series. And these things happen, and so that kind of makes some sense. And again, it's not technically false advertising, clickbaiting, because the game is actually by that name. Now, there's definitely a very valid argument that's saying if I'm just tricking people into clicking on links, then they're not going to stay, and that's certainly true. So there is definitely an argument to not doing that, but right now my channel's so small and I have so many views on each video that gets released anyways. One more view helps me, even if they leave immediately. At least I think it is. Rage is a really good game that I never finished for $3.30. Castlevania Lord of Shadows for $3.74. The Mad Max game is $6.75. I think that's almost a steal for as new as that game is. I'd like to get 3D Mark, PC Mark, but I'm never going to be able to budget for that. Gianna Sisters 2D, another thing. Doctor Who, the adventure game, similar thing. People type in Doctor Who, they'd see an actual Doctor Who game starring Doctor Who. The Deep Silver bundle is too expensive. Kill the Plumber is kind of like Gianna Sisters, and it's a reference to Mario Brothers and somewhat like that, and I figured I could do a whole series. Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Edition, $10. Am I gonna play Fallout in the next year? It seems highly unlikely, honestly. I should have hit these two first and then played that. I wanted to do Shenzhen IO, but it's $13.50, so I think there's definitely an argument against it. I have been kind of into logic circuitry and building circuits, so that might be fun, but I'm too late to cover that game as if it's new, and it's going to be a niche coverage anyways. I think the price just needs to go down. Gianna Sisters Twisted Bundle is another Gianna Sisters game. The Room 2 is $2.50. Probably not worth $2.50 if I'm gonna be honest, but it's not gonna go down in price anyways. And they're already to the Room 3. Z Game is a game made by a YouTuber. I wanted to get it. It's $2. It's not really worth getting it at that price. The System Shock bundle for $5 that's a protective purchase in case we get a free update for the new System Shock. Almost certainly not, but because it's not just going to be a remaster or anything like that, but it would be interesting at the very least to hope for that. Let's see, if I do this I can do one health, but this is probably better. Just in turn there. Runaway, A Twist of Fate was one I didn't even look. SteamWorld Dig for $1.99. I was thinking about getting that. The Detail, I kicked that one out because I think there's more. Reigns for $1 is a good deal. Square Sales for 89 cents is a good deal. My Name is Mayo for 89 cents is probably a good deal. And one thing that was brought up to me by the person I was talking to about this list and just going through it was one of the games we were looking at is called Mind a Path to Thalamus. And they go, well, the thalamus is an anatomy thing. Are there any anatomy games? And I've shown them anatomy games that are on cell phones where there's one called Speed Anatomy that's actually pretty cool about learning bones, muscles, and things like that.
Reporting for
But
duty.
then I looked on Steam and there actually isn't a large amount. In fact, there's only one tower defense game I could find that had any reference to anatomy at all, in the sense that you are defending the body with towers as germs or whatever are trying to attack the body. Let's see, I need to end this here. We're going a little long to go through that list, and that's going to leave me with other conversation topics to play, to talk about in the next recording. with this. And then here. And then my turn. I think I'll take the victory now. I've probably played enough Murlocs. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I forgot one day to actually, like the very second day, I forgot to go look through my discovery queue, so I'm going to be a little short on trading cards I could have gotten for free. It probably doesn't really matter. I don't know if I'm going to end up purchasing any games, even despite having that list of $900 worth of games. And if I did purchase no games, I still probably have more than enough to purchase to play for at least all of 2017 and
little time.
not really even struggle early into 2018. It's just kind of, do I want a growing collection? Do I want to have to scrape the bottom of the barrel? Do I want to cover games that would be more relevant and have more reason? Let's go ahead and start.
To battle!
Start playing cards. Crazy. But I don't know if I'm really going to try to get badges. The thing about the badges and the levels on Steam is I think I'm at a very high level. I think I'm somewhere at level 30 or something. Maybe level 80. I think I'm, regardless of what the number is, I think I'm at a very high level for this game. And it's supposed to give you booster packs. And I've got games running non-stop, and I'm staying logged into Steam as far as I understand it. Maybe I have to close Steam and restart it once a day. But I'm not really getting booster packs. I'm not really getting discounts. I'm not really seeing some kind of loyalty program that actually means anything at all. Oh man, I should have played this, then played this, then played this again. That would have been a much better strategy. Let's see, so this, and game over. I lost. And if I had played better and gotten 2 of those, it wouldn't matter. So, the Hearthstone deck tracker, if it's working, has a new meter that they just added for Jade counters or something. I don't even know why. I don't know of a card that does anything for the number of Jade golems you summon. So, that seems a little weird. Next recording, we need to get 5 victories, and that's going to be a little odd too, because I don't know what deck to play to get victories. That was not a priority, oddly enough, when making the decks. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me further, click on my name, Rydo. On the right is a button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want a friend to follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.